What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Mark from Linux Gaming Central, and today we are going to take a look at Kazeta, the operating system that is designed to bring the experience of the consoles of the 90s, as it says here on the official website, to modern PC hardware and games. You just insert a cartridge, power it on, and start playing. So I do recommend giving this guide a quick skim through, just so you can get a better idea of what exactly Kazeta does and why you might use it. But for the sake of this tutorial, we're just going to get right into it. So if you head to the official website, kazeta.org, and we go click on download, this will scroll us down to the bottom of the web page. We click download now, and what that will do is it will download the ISO. So I'm just going to give that some time to finish downloading. It's about 2.5 gigabytes in size. And while I'm waiting for that to finish, you're going to need software to flash the ISO onto it. I do recommend using Popsicle if you are on Linux. This is a very easy to use interface for installing ISOs onto flash drives. This download is already done. If I open this up, it already opens up Popsicle. We have our ISO selected. We select next. I'm going to go ahead and plug in my USB flash drive. Okay, there it is. So I'm going to select it, select next. We are going to put in our sudo password in order to flash the flash drive. And I'm just going to let it do its thing, and I will be back. Okay, so as you can see here, we have successfully flashed the flash drive, and this is the label that it's been given. So we can go ahead and unplug our USB flash drive and plug it into the computer we will be using for Kazeta. Okay, so as you can see, here is my setup. This is a Minis for Mini PC that I'll be installing Kazeta on. This is the flash drive that I flashed the Kazeta ISO to. So I'm just going to plug that in. Ideally, you do want to have a keyboard connected during the first time install. You can technically use a controller, but I do recommend using a keyboard. Just make sure everything is hooked up. Make sure the USB flash drive is in there. And I'm going to turn this on and hit the F7 key to bring up the boot menu. Okay, so I'm going to select the Samsung flash drive here, which should bring up the Kazeta installer. Okay, so I only have one internal hard drive on this mini PC. It's just going to ask me if I want to erase and install Kazeta onto this disk. If you have multiple hard drives in your system, it will ask you which hard drive you want to install Kazeta onto. I'm just going to press the left arrow key on the keyboard, and press enter to erase disk and install. Now, in my case, I already have a Kazeta install, so I'm just going to do a clean install for the sake of this tutorial. So just give it a few minutes, and it will prompt you to reboot. So after about 5 minutes, the installation has completed. I'm just going to go ahead and press the enter key to reboot now. And if everything went well, we should be presented with the Kazeta BIOS. Okay, there we are. So this is the interface that you will be greeted with if there is no cartridge detected on the system. It's very simple. It's just a data menu. This will access your game save data files. Once you start playing some games, some icons will start showing up here, and you can delete save data, you can copy it over, and once a cartridge is inserted, this play button will light up. If we press enter, it's not going to do anything. So I have some pre-made cartridges right here, and because this mini PC does not have a internal SD card reader, I have to use a USB adapter. I put the cartridge in the SD card slot right there. So I'm just going to plug that in. And I'm going to take this test cartridge here. This has a Friday Night Funkin' on it. Go ahead and put this in. Okay, we're good to go. So we select play. Alright, so I'm going to demonstrate to you how to make a game cartridge. I'm going to be using Friday Night Funkin' as the example. So, you're going to want to have a computer, obviously, to do this. I do recommend using a Linux-based distribution in order to do this, because you do need to format your cartridges as extension 4, and on Windows that can be a little tricky. You can see here I'm using Fedora. So I'm going to insert my cartridge, which is a SD card. So there's our SD card, and I personally use GNOME disks. I find it very easy to use. You can use whatever software you prefer to format your cartridges. So in my case, I have a 32 gigabyte SD card. I'm going to select it. We're going to format the disk, keep the options as is. Format. Alright, so now we can create a partition here. I will give it the volume name of FNF or Friday Night Funkin'. When you are creating the volume name, please make sure it does not have any spaces or special characters in it. I find it easy to just use all lowercase letters, and you know, if I have to put a space in there, I just put a dash in there. But I'm just going to leave it FNF. And the type, we are going to select extension 4. We want to make sure the case folding is disabled, but it's already the case here with disks. And then just click create. Just give it a second. Okay, we are formatted now. So I'm going to go ahead and open our newly formatted SD card. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a folder. And I'm going to call this FNF. You can call it content or whatever. This will contain the game data files. So I'm going to go ahead and download Friday Night Funkin' now. If you do a quick search for it, we can download it straight from the itch.io store. Select download now. Now I use the Windows version because I've not had any success running the Linux version. I'm just going to go ahead and click download. I'm going to open the zip folder up. So we have all our game files here. Importantly, this funkin.exe executable. I'm going to click extract. I'm going to select my SD card. I'm going to select this FNF folder here and click extract. So now we have our game files here inside of our FNF folder here. And we are going to need an icon for this game. This is going to be the icon that shows up in the save data screen. For me, I personally use Steam Grid DB. This is a great place to get icons for your games. So I'm just gonna search Friday Night Funkin' here. And I'm going to sort by icons. And for the dimensions, I'm going to search 32 by 32. So we have all different resolutions here. I'm going to click 32 by 32. And it's already in PNG format, which is what we want. So right click, save image as. I'm going to select my SD card. I'm going to save it right onto the root of the SD card. I'm going to save it as icon.png. Okay, now we also need the Windows runtime. So if we go to the documentation here on the website, and if we click on runtimes, we have all these runtimes here. So if you wanted to set up emulators, Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo, you can download these runtimes here if you wanted to. But since this is a Windows game, we are going to select the Windows 1.0 runtime. I'm just going to wait for that to finish downloading. Okay, so I'm just going to open the folder here. There it is right there. So I'm going to right click, copy it, and I'm going to paste it into my SD card root folder. So just let it copy over. All right, now our final step is to create the metadata file for this game. So I'm going to right click, create new, empty file. I'm going to call this cart.kzi. Make sure it has the .kzi file extension at the end. So this is just going to be a text file. It's going to be very similar in format to .desktop files, if you've ever seen those. So we have to give this game a name. So name equals, I'm going to call it Friday Night Funkin'. We have to give it an ID. Make sure this does not have any spaces or special characters, just like when you're creating the label for your SD card. So I'm just going to call this FNF. Exec equals, now we have to point to the path to the executable. So in our case, we go to the FNF folder, funkin.exe. I'm going to put that in quotes. You don't need it unless there are spaces in the file name, but I'm just going to use quotes anyways. FNF / funkin.exe. Now we need the icon path. Icon equals icon.ping, as you can see right here. And then finally, we need to specify the runtime we are going to use. So runtime equals Windows -1.0. You can put in the full path if you want to, but you don't have to. I just generally keep it to that. So we save our cart, and now we are good to go. So you want to safely eject the cartridge from your system, unplug it, plug it back in to your Kazeta console, and hopefully it should work. Alright, that is going to wrap this tutorial up. If you have any questions, you can use the documentation provided here on the Kazeta GitHub, or you can use the Kazeta Discord if you have Discord. You can go to the help channel and create a post here if you have any questions on setting up any game cartridges. If you have any issues running a cartridge, you can file an issue here, and I can try and see if I can help you out, or if someone else in the community can help you out. And also, again, I do recommend giving this guide on Linux Gaming Central a quick read-through. This is a more detailed version of this video, so I do recommend checking that out. Alright, that'll wrap it up, and I'll see you later.